Hello and welcome, Facebook fans, Facebook friends. My name is Henry Beyer and this is Wednesday afternoon strength training. Now, it's been a couple weeks since my last episode, and the last thing we were talking about was working on the strengthening the upper back muscles, specifically like the lower traps and the rhomboids, which keeps your back vertical. They're extensor muscles that help keep the back vertical. That's sort of like the traps. And the rhomboids help pull the shoulders back, so they help have you keep, a nice erect posture without too much of the caveman eating and computer stuff going on. So that was a couple weeks ago, but I had to suspend the broadcasts on Facebook Live, and that's why this is a pre-recorded thing, because I was having difficulties with not only interruptions with the internet service or whatever was going on in terms of recording it, but then I had problems with the videos uploading, and I wanted to try and figure that out. Now, I have not quite figured out exactly what I'm going to be doing, but I wanted to continue on, so for the time being, we're going to be doing these live, or we're going to be doing these videos and then posting them on Facebook on Wednesday afternoon, and the Friday Kaizen will be the same, and so will the Monday morning movement and mobility. I'm bummed about that because I like doing the Facebook Live and having the interaction, but it was just too much. When they changed the format, it just became too problematic. So they did something with Facebook. Facebook did something with the Facebook Live, which definitely impacted my ability to do them. So for now, we're just going to have to do it like this, and we'll see if I can get back to Facebook Live. And if not, then we'll just have to do pre-recorded shows. Now, it's 2:15 here, and when I'm shooting the video, which is typically my time for doing my afternoon strength training. Remember, Wednesday, the middle of the week, Wednesday is typically the strongest day of the week, and the afternoon is typically when we are the strongest. Even maybe later in the day is when the hormones and everything are in the best. But I like doing it around this time, because if I have to go pick up my son or something like that, I'll have done this already before I have to do that. So I'm shooting this and then I have to upload it. So we're gonna see how long it takes to upload the video and then get it posted onto Facebook. So hopefully I'll be able to get this up there by 3 o'clock today, my time. So that's just about where we're at. Now, the scenery is my yard. We have Forsyth Rock here in the background, and so that's a nice view to have, and it's looking pretty green here, even though we're not have rain for a little bit, but the rain that we had in May and June has kept things looking pretty good so far. Might look, if you have this picture later on, that this spot over here might look a little browner. So anyway, so let's get to what we're going to be doing today. What I thought we would do is just catch you up on what I've been doing and do a little bit of my workout for today. If we can get to the whole thing in the 30 minutes, we'll see. So what have I been doing? When we left, I was just finishing a 5-week program from Enter the Kettlebell for clean and presses, so shoulder presses with a kettlebell. And I was doing the same program for pull-ups. And I was also doing a single leg deadlift program, which was basically from Power to the People, which is I'll get into that a little bit more later on, how that works. But so I was doing that, and then when that completed, I began doing a 5-week session of single leg squats, the same kettlebell progression that I was using for the clean and press, where each week you add repetitions. It's a ladder format, and I've talked about it in the past, but so I was doing that, and this is the last week of it. So I have 3 more sessions of that to do, and that's with the greatest number of reps happening tomorrow and then whatnot. So working on single leg squats, following what I was doing with the single leg deadlifts. And then last week I started a new bench press or floor press and deadlift program that I got out of the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Now, Tim Ferriss, he's the guy who's wrote the 4-Hour Work Week, and he's followed up those books with the 4-Hour Body and then the 4-Hour Chef, and his most recent book is called Tribe of Mentors, which I hear from a couple of people is really good. But the program that I took out of the book was called Effortlessly Superhuman, and essentially it's doing weight training 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you're doing bench press, or in my case the floor press, and deadlifts. Those are the two exercises, the strength training exercises that you do, and then you can go off and do whatever other kind of training you can do. So this is basically a purely strength building protocol. Now, this is not really the place to get into it, but there's different types of strength, and this is about really just building maximum strength, absolute strength, and then there's endurance strength and power strength, and those require different types of programs to build those. But for me, I'm just working on like this maximal strength. So this is what this Effortlessly Superhuman program is about. So essentially, I've figured out what my 5-rep max or my 5-rep max. Maybe you can say it's a max. I don't know. But what weight I can do 5 reps of deadlifting and then floor pressing, and then you multiply that by 1.2, and that gives you a number which should be approximate your 1 rep max for each of those exercises. So I don't remember exactly what they are for my bench press or my deadlift. But so I did that, and then what you do for your training days is you do 2 to 3 sets at 95% of the 1 rep max, and then you take a short break, and then you do about 5 reps at 85% of your 1 rep max. So what does that mean for me? So in the bench press, I was trying to do 85.5 kilograms, which I didn't figure out the math, so I don't know. In the I'll put it in the notes underneath. But so that the very first day I did it, I was able to do 2 reps of it, and then the 85% of the 1 rep max was 78 kilograms, and I was able to do 4 reps of that. But I've done 3 sessions since then. Yeah, so that was a week ago Monday, and then I did last Wednesday, Friday, and this past Monday, and I was only able to get 1 rep out of it for the 95%, which was 85.5 kilograms, and then at 78 kilograms, I was only able to get 3. So today I'm going to drop it down to 83 kilograms and see if I can get the 2 reps out of that, and then I'm going to drop the 85% down to 73, which I should be able to do 5 of those, because when I was doing this 2 weeks of bench pressing, I got to 75.5 and was able to do 75.5 kilograms 5 times. Now 73 is roughly 160 pounds, which is basically my body weight. I'm actually a little bit more than that, but my target in the next 6 weeks is to get myself to 160 pounds. So 73 would be right where my body weight is. So we'll have to see how that goes. And then with the deadlift, my 95% rep or weight is 108 kilograms, and I've got the last time I did it, I did 3 reps of that, and then so it's 88 and 108 is the is the first set, 95% my 1 rep max, and then 98 is 85% of my 1 rep max. So this is sort of the program that I'm working on. And if I can do the deadlift today and on Friday, do 3 reps at 108 and do 5 reps at 98, then I'm going to bump up the weight for next week. And this program I'm going to do for like 4 to 6 weeks, probably till about June 4, or no, maybe I'll probably do 5 weeks of it. It'll be the first week of July will be like the last week of it, and I'll take a break, and then I'm going to test myself. And my goal, my birthday is on July 14th. So life begins at 50. So I'll turn 50 on July 14th. And so I want to be able to do 1 deadlift, 1 rep of 1.5 times my body weight, which I should be able to do because I'm pretty close. That's like 115 kilograms, and I'm doing 3 reps of 118. So I should be able to do the 115, but by that time. And then I want to be able to bench press my body weight. This is why I want to get to 160, because I want to use the 73 kilograms. I want to be able to bench press my body weight 15 times. So bench press 73 kilograms 15 times, and then be able to do 15 dead hang pull-ups. So that's my goal for that. Now the push-ups, I think the doing 15 of my bench press of my body weight, I think that's going to be the hardest one to accomplish. The pull-ups, I think I can do that. Because I did those 5 weeks of pull-ups, and that definitely helped in terms of my capacity to do pull-ups. And there's another way to work on that called grease the groove, and then that's what am I trying to say? I think doing the grease the groove over the next 4 weeks or so. Excuse me, I got something in my teeth there. There we go. Doing the grease the groove over the next 5 weeks will, what am I trying to say? 4 or 5 weeks, I think will get me to be able to do 15 pull-ups. So I talked a lot, almost half the time I've been chatting about what I've been up to. So let's get to the exercises. But first I got to do just a little bit of warm-up. So this is a good warm-up. It's called the Halo. Helps warm up the shoulders. And this is actually from Pavel Tatsulin, Simple and Sinister. He has 3 exercises that he does to warm you up for the Simple and Sinister. Halo is one of them. You just take the weight and you go around your head. You do your best to keep your head still. So that's like 1 rep going both directions. Whoops, move my head there. So you do, what do? You do 5 of these. I think that was 4. I don't know, lost count. We'll do 1 more for good measure. Okay, do that. Now the one thing he does is he does those bridges. We're not going to do that today. Goblet squats are the next one. So you go down. Sit down in here. Do 5 of these. That's 3, 4, 5. And then he does the bridging because obviously with the Simple and Sinister, you're doing Turkish get-ups and kettlebell swings. So he wants to get the butt activated for the swings. So I'm going to do these and then kick into the the Cossack. So these are just going to side, and then the Cossack. Oh, those feel good. Sit back in there. something like that. All right. I don't know how many that was, but we want to head into the garage. So you do 3 of these to do a proper warm-up. I did a little bit of warm-up beforehand, and so do those for proper warm-up, because you don't want to do too much warm-up. Like in the book, so now we're moving to my garage. There's my house above there with the prayer flags and things. So with the Effortlessly Superhuman, he actually has what am I trying to say? A 5-minute workout called the over and under that he has his athletes do. I don't have something set up for that because it requires, you see down here, right? That there's a lot of light in there. Okay. So this is my bench press setup, floor press setup here. I got 68 on here, so I'm just going to do one at 68 just to fire up the muscles here. Okay, so that's 68, pretty straightforward. So I'm going to add, we're going to go to 83, so I'm adding 15 kilograms to that, which is 30-something pounds. When I'm down here, there's a couple things. When you're doing the floor press, you want to squeeze your butt and sort of, it will be hard to see, squeeze your butt hard, pull up your, like you want to have everything tight down in the pelvic region, and then you also want to pull, your shoulders are kind of like this, you want to pull your shoulders back and get a little bit of an arch in your back for doing this. And you just want to have everything braced and tight for it. So I'm gonna add the weights here. Okay, so one other thing that I do on this is I do a breathing, like I do this Wim Hof breathing that helps upregulate your system, gets more oxygen in it, so you'll hear me do that. So that'll be the first thing that happens. here goes. We did 50 breaths. Tighten the butts. Tighten the back. Squeeze the bar. Okay. There we go, 2 reps. Now, I got basically 5 minutes before I do the next one. So we'll take off the weight. So that was 83. 2 reps. That's definitely near the max. Probably the recommendation is when you're doing things like this with the bench press is you keep at least 1 or 2 reps in the bank. I'm definitely on the edge there. I mean, potentially if I wanted to have at least 1 or 2 reps in the bank, I could actually probably drop this to 80 and a half and work on it like that. And that might not be an entirely bad idea, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna keep doing it because I think if I could do this the next couple of times that I do it, I'll be able to, it'll feel stronger, but I can feel that. I mean, that's definitely, I mean, when like to put it in perspective, what am I trying to say? I had never bench pressed my body weight like 2.5 years ago. So like the December of 2015 is when I did like this video where I bench pressed my body weight for the first time, and I only did it twice. And now I'm doing 80 and a half or 83, which is 22 kilograms heavier than that, twice. So I'd say that's pretty good, especially since I haven't necessarily been like, I'm training bench press. So one of the reasons I'm doing this is just like blast that bench press. So I'm going to take off the 10 kilograms of weight to get me to 73. Okay. All right, so the Wim Hof breathing. So now we're set up for the next set, which is going to be 5 reps. That's 73 kilograms. So as I said, I've done that. Like this spring was my personal record doing 5 of those. And then just Monday, no, not Monday, but when I was doing the bench press program, which is Power to the People. So that's 2 weeks. It's 10 training days, so you do 5 training days in a row, and then you take 2 days off, and then you do another 5 training days, and each day you up the weight. And so I made 75 and a half. I think I made 75 and a half be the weight at the last day, and I was able to do 5 reps of that. So from that is how I figured out to get to 85 and a half for my for the start of this program, but I just can't pull off the 2 reps consistently, so that's why I dropped down the weight. So 73, I should be able to do 5 reps pretty easily. Not easily, but I should be able to do those. So we'll see how that goes. I did, as I said, on Tuesday, I did 78 3 times, so we're dropping 5 kilograms, so 11 pounds, so should be able to do that. I think I need to give it another minute here, and then we'll pop down there. Yeah, so the Wim Hof breathing, so that's, I mean, they would appreciate your patience with my lying down here and doing my breathing. So the Wim Hof breathing, it's a deep belly inhale, and then just a relaxed exhale. And you do that from 30 to 50 times. The sensation that you're going for is you should feel maybe a little lightheaded, not too lightheaded, but tingling. You should feel some tingling in your fingertips. And this just means you're like flooding your system with oxygen. It's sort of like a controlled hyperventilation so hyperventilating is when you blow off too much CO2 and your blood, your breathing apparatus responds to the level of CO2 in your system. So that's why they have you breathe into a paper bag, because you're blowing out CO2 and then you're breathing back the CO2 in. So you're trying to resaturate your blood with CO2. So the idea with the up regulation breathing that Wim Hof does is to increase the amount of oxygen in your system. Now, if you do too much of it, you're going to hyperventilate because you don't have enough oxygen. You don't have enough oxygen in your system, and you'll pass out. That's the risk of it. So what am I saying? So anyway, so that the goal is to hypersaturate your blood with oxygen, which actually will help you perform physical exercise more. All right, so that's why I was doing it and it's like 30 to 50, which is like the sweet spot for most people in getting that tingling sensation. So that's what I was doing. We won't do this on this one. So now we're going to hop down here and go for the 5 reps. So squeeze your butts, tighten up your shoulders, grip, crush the bar with your hands. Should have 1 to 2 left. All right. So there's 5 reps. Now we have 3 minutes left in the broadcast. What I think I will do is I think I'm going to just pause, since I only got a couple minutes left. We'll just wrap this up here with the bench press for today. Next week, we'll come back, because I'll still be doing this, and we'll do the deadlifts portion of this exercise so that you can see that too. But so the Effortlessly Superhuman, let's go back out here. And I appreciate your patience as I move around and do all this sort of stuff. My van in the back. So the Effortlessly Superhuman program, again, comes out of Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Body. And it's fashioned after a guy named Barry Ross, who's a track coach, I think, in Washington. And he has some really super performances out of his sprinters. Now he does like sprinting, not even middle distance, maybe like 400 meter sprinting, maybe 800. It's sort of a middle distance, I guess. Maybe not. I don't know about all the terminology. But anyways, this guy Barry Ross, this Effortlessly Superhuman protocol comes from that. So it's 3 days a week of bench press and deadlifts with a warm-up in a short 5-minute warm-up to begin with. Then you do the exercises, 95% of your 1 rep max, 2 to 3 reps of that, and then 85% of your 1 rep map, 1 rep max, 5 reps of that. And you just do that, and he has his track stars doing it at the end. They do that before they do any of their sprinting, because it doesn't leave you feeling exhausted. It's hard, like pressing that. You could see it took me a while to get up that 2nd rep on that first bench press. So it's hard, but it doesn't leave you totally crushed. And then later in the day, they go out and they do their sprinting work. So that today we saw the bench press version, and next week we'll do the deadlift part of it, which is section 2, because that has a nice little plyometric that you do afterwards. So I wanted to have time to be able to show you that, and I wasn't going to have time today. So all right, that's it for me for today. Again, my name is Henry Beyer, and I am a coach, life coach. I'm just trying to figure that out. I'm a life coach, but really my focus is on fitness and wellness, and my age demographic is 50. So if you are someone who is interested in fitness and wellness and you're nearing 50, in the 50 category, 50 range, then get in touch with me, and maybe I can help you with whatever you're trying to work on, because this is an important time of life. To be fit and to be able to have fun and enjoy your life, and that's what I'm about. So this has been Wednesday afternoon strength training. Appreciate you watching the video. Sorry that it can't be Facebook Live, because I like that, but this is how it has to be. So please comment below if you have a comment about this, if you liked it, if you want to learn more, just let me know. So thanks again for being here, and I look forward to seeing you on Friday for Friday Kaizen. Until then, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.